In the early 1800s, the Lewis and Clark expedition went all the way to the Pacific coast. On the way back, two trappers, John Colter and John Potts, decided to stay in the Rocky Mountains and trap beaver. They put their traps out at night and took their prey in during the early morning hours before sunup and slept during the day. One day they were a little late getting in, and as they canoed down the river, both banks were filled with Blackfeet Indians. Chief beckoned the canoe to come to the bank, and Colter rowed over and got out, left Potts in the boat, started to communicate with the chief. He noticed a scuffle in the background, and an Indian brave had stolen Potts's rifle. Not wanting to be intimidated, Colter grabbed the rifle and gave it back to Potts, turned around to talk some more, and a shot rang out. The Indian dropped dead. Suddenly, Potts was filled with about 50 arrows. Now the only question was how they going to kill John Colter. "You fast like deer?" Chief asked Colter in broken English. Colter lied. He was a mountain man who walked about everywhere he went, and he was a good athlete. He said, "No, I slow like turtle." He took all his clothes off, took his moccasins, turned him loose on the prairie. John Colter ran faster than he'd ever run in his life. The whole tribe pursued him. He ran about 5 miles. It was a high altitude. He was bleeding out of the nose, and his feet were bleeding from where he stepped on prickly pear cactus. And he got far ahead of everyone except for one brave. He turned around, and that brave was within 20 yards. Deciding not to die with a spear in his back, he just exposed himself. The Indian was so startled he tripped, fell, and broke the spear. Colter picked up the business end of it and killed him. Ran another mile to the Jefferson River and dived in, swam underneath a beaver dam. Pretty soon he heard the tribe, angry as hornets. They'd found their comrade that he had killed, and they scoured the banks for John Colter all the rest of that day till sundown, and couldn't find him. One of them walked right over the top of his beaver dam, poked a spear down, tried to see if anybody was down there, just barely missed him. Well, when he didn't hear him anymore, Colter decided to swim out from under the dam, stay underwater as long as he could, went downstream, crawled out, didn't see any Indians, walked 200 miles to Camp Raymond. Life was saved. John Colter ran to win. In 1 Corinthians 9, 24-27, Paul says that we are to run to win in the game of life. Are you running to win? Paul's not talking about our salvation here. That's a gift. We're doing nothing more nor less than believing in the Lord Jesus. But Paul says we can win rewards in heaven. Are you running to win God's well done for you one day when you stand before Him? I hope you're born again and saved and know you're going to heaven, but what rewards will you earn from the way you run this race? This is Elliot Johnson from Trail Ride Magazine. For more stories of the West, go to trailride.org.